What are your concerns around street trading?
I think the most important thing is that I think that section of that particular sector is not well coordinated and developed, in the way we would want it to. And now the government is also looking at the issue of licensing, every business, which makes a lot of sense because they need to know who is where so that they can do their planning quite well. So a major concern will be that we must take a developmental approach in terms of how we deal with street, merchants. And I would say that based on the licensing that is supposed to be coming through, we would like them to be more developmental in how they deal with them. The cost of making business in the country is quite expensive. If you have to go and set up a company, you have to go to Pretoria. If you have to go to SARS. You have to go to the bank. Now you have to do your licensing. I mean, it might end up costing you close to between 2,500 and 3,000 rand for you to have a complete company that is properly registered and eventually will actually have a license. And we would want to say the cost of making a business in the country, especially for small business and micro business, should be reduced in such a way that there should be a one-stop shop for them to do this thing. Because otherwise, it just becomes an effort from the government that won't yield anything, but it will be just obliterate all the street merchants, and instead of developing them, I think we should actually have a way of also developing them. And the approach of them licensing, yes, the good one, but it must be developmental in nature. That's basically what I'm saying. If the idea is to go into the street merchants and just simply remove them, it won't help us. I mean, we have a high unemployment rate. There are a lot of other entrepreneurs that actually started there that are now great entrepreneurs. So it's not something that we can just, close our eyes and say, if they don't comply, that's it. We need to look at a way of how do we make sure that they comply, and then we have a developmental approach over a longer period to bring them into the fold and educate them in terms of how they can actually make sure that they comply with regulations. If it's going to be used as a punitive measure to say you are not complying, you're closing off your business, it won't help us. In the long run, it won't help us. We must get to a stage where we can do that. We are not complying in maybe 3 to 5 years' time, where we have actually developed, the public and the people that are involved in terms of them understanding why they should do this and why they actually have to get involved in the developmental aspect of developing them to actually come back and participate in the mainstream of the economy, because they remain in the fringes, but if they can be licensed, I think there is a possibility that the government can even plan for them and avail other infrastructure opportunities, because at the moment they don't even have a proper infrastructure, and thus the opportunities that they have within that particular sector cannot be properly pursued.
Do you have any projects underway which may be of help?
Yeah, well, what we are trying to do, firstly, we are participating in the licensing of the bill. We are sending one of our delegates to participate there so that we make sure that that licensing becomes developmental in its approach. Secondly, we have a program we're trying to develop where we will be looking at some of the street vendors and possibly providing training and development aspects with them. But we're engaging with CEDA on it, and we'll be involving them. So it's not a question of us sitting there and saying somebody must do it. The government must do it. We are just saying we need also to participate and initiate projects, and that's what we're doing. I think there's one that we're involved in the licensing bill itself, and two that we're busy developing programs that are going to help them to become more proper businesses in a way that they will be able to run their business well. So those are basically the two that we actually have.
Are there any necessary skills needed by street traders?
Yes, I think they are. I mean, health and hygiene is critical for them to go through that. Health and hygiene it's very, very important. Others, merchants might need cooking skills, because there are other, the mamas that are on the side in the taxi rank that cook food. They need to also get involved in health issues. And additionally will be, finance in itself, how to ensure that they are able to manage their finances well, because they buy individually. And buying individually means that they cannot leverage on the numbers that they have as street merchants, especially if they belong to the same sector. Because if they can do that, they will be able to maximize their profits and benefit more if they buy together as a group. So those are the skills. I would say finance skills. Possibly there might be health and safety skills, and then they possibly also, maybe just basic